Good morning, everyone. Really pleasure to be here. So, my wife suggested I not start my presentation off by comparing real estate agents to cockroaches. Yet, here we are. So, we're in the midst of, from the outside looking in, a complete meltdown in the real estate industry, right? You've got the publicly listed real estate companies losing billions of dollars in shareholder value over the past year. Their stocks are down 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, right? Complete Armageddon. I hope that wasn't applause. Do not applaud, please. Companies across the industry are laying off thousands and thousands of people. We've got interest rates up. We've got existing home sales down significantly in 22 and 23. We've got some of the biggest names in the real estate industry on track to lose record amounts of money in 2022. Compass is on track to lose over $500 million last year alone, on top of billions of dollars in historical losses. Opendoor, another very large real estate tech company and disruptor, is on track to lose $1 billion, over $1 billion in 2022. For a total of $2.8 billion since 2017, massive losses. So from the outside looking in, or from anywhere, the industry looks like complete Armageddon, right? Meltdown. Everything's going wrong. It's just a disaster. But in an atomic blast, who survives? Cockroaches. I told my wife you guys would get it. All right, so I'm here. I want to talk about three key themes impacting the industry right now, right? And I want to do that to kind of anchor this with quotes. Not all quotes, just a couple quotes. So first theme, first quote, we're losing so slowly, we think we're winning. Gary Keller. Great quote. The industry is moving really fast, and standing still is not an option. So to illustrate this, here's some of my favorite data. If we look at transaction volumes of some big brokerage companies back in 2019, eXp, Redfin, Compass, pretty good growth over time. We plot the largest incumbent, Realogy, they're way up there. Exponentially higher volumes than these real estate tech disruptors, right? This is my favorite. What do you think is going to happen? I'm going to hit the button, and we're going to skip ahead 2 years. Look at that. I love this. Just exponential growth, crazy growth. And at the same time, Realogy, you're not doing anything wrong. They managed to rename themselves, but that's about it. They're not doing anything wrong. They're not losing market share, but the world around them is moving so fast, they're losing. So in the real estate industry, venture capitalists have been pouring in billions, tens of billions of dollars into this space since 2015, over $50 billion. And it's spawning hundreds of new models, hundreds of real estate tech companies that are trying to disrupt this space. Some of them are using that money to advertise directly to consumers. Opendoor, in the first 9 months of last year, spent close to $200 million just on advertising, just educating consumers. And what are they advertising? This: sell your home the new-fashioned way. You're all old-fashioned. $200 million, TV ads, radio, print. That's where this money is going, educating consumers at scale. So that's the first key theme, right? The industry is moving really fast, and you cannot afford to stand still. Second quote by my good friend Warren Buffett: only when the tide goes out do you discover who's been swimming naked. So with this meltdown we're seeing in the industry right now, there's this humongous shift from real estate tech companies and disruptors who have had this competitive advantage of not having to make money, right? They've had sustained unprofitability is their business model. We're going to lose billions of dollars, gain market share, and then we'll kind of figure it out later. That's shifting to sustainable business models. So again, think of Compass, on track to lose $500 million in 2022 alone, billions of dollars of losses. The problem with money is when you run out of it, you go out of business. So Compass is running out of money. Their cash balance, the amount of money they have in the bank, which you can talk about adjusted EBITDA and all these kind of financial metrics till you're blue in the face, but really it's about how much cash is in the bank that matters. The amount of cash they have in the bank is going down over time. This is not good nor bad, it just is. This is a fact. All right, so what do you do when you're running out of money? You got to cut your expenses. So Compass is cutting drastically as fast as humanly possible. They're attempting to and on track to reduce their operating expenses by 40% or $600 million a year. And they're not alone. Companies across the industry are doing the same, right? Cutting out tens, hundreds of millions of dollars of operating expenses in a shift to become profitable, to be back in black, right? To have a profitable business model. And one way they're doing that is through layoffs, unfortunately affecting thousands of really great people in the industry. On average, from the companies that I looked at, they're cutting about 40% of staff. Some more. And they're doing this to stay in business and to be profitable. Some of them are doing it simply to stay alive. So that's the second key theme. Only when the tide goes out do you know who's swimming naked. And we have the tide going out right now. Third quote, I'm going to quote myself. It's not about the house, it's about the transaction. I say this quite a lot when I think about new business models. And what I mean by this is that there's this theme of ecosystem. There's an ecosystem play at play, right? Companies are building up these walled gardens, these ecosystems in the industry. So again, back to Compass. Compass has exclusive listings. Listings, in their words, that will, on their private Compass platform, that will never be listed on Zillow or Redfin. Is this new? No, right? Pocket listings, this is something that's been there, but Compass has industrialized this at a scale never seen before. There are results you can only see on Compass. Opendoor does the same thing. Opendoor exclusives. They say it better than I can, right? Off-market homes you can't find anywhere else. You have to go to opendoor.com to see these houses. They're building up this ecosystem. Zillow's pretty active in this space too. ShowingTime Plus, there's a lot of energy and effort behind that. ShowingTime Plus is this one-stop shop for real estate agents. Use it for listings, showings, offers, photography, 3D tours, everything you need to win a listing, to get a listing, to execute on a listing once you've signed the contract, they will help you with that. What Zillow's also doing in this idea of this one-stop shop ecosystem, they're going really heavy into Zillow Home Loans. Right? We can make money when we sell people mortgages. We can make a lot of money when we sell people mortgages. The problem with this and all of these ecosystem plays is that it's hard. Right? It's a lot harder than a PowerPoint presentation. Zillow's mortgage business has lost $230 million over the past 6 years. In 2021, which was a great year to be in the mortgage business, by the way, in 2021, 96% of mortgage companies were profitable. Zillow was one of the 4% that was unprofitable. Mortgage is hard. Redfin also has a mortgage business. They purchased Bay Equity, a traditional mortgage company, a couple of years ago. Revenues are going up. That's great. The problem is it's unprofitable. It's losing money. Part of Opendoor's plan was to sell people mortgages. Yeah, we're losing money on the buying and selling of houses, but if we can get people to use our financing operation, we'll make money. Opendoor they quietly shut down their entire mortgage operation at the end of last year. It's done. That was their plan, right? We're going to buy and sell houses. Maybe that'll be a loss leader. We'll lose some money, but we'll sell people mortgages, and that's how we'll make profitability. Well, it's gone now. It's really hard. They figured out how hard it is. So Opendoor Mortgage, donezo. You guys want to see a magic trick? All right. You really? Really? All right, thanks. Here's a chart. It's a chart-based magic trick. All right, you've seen this before. Let's throw it up on the big screen, please. All right, you've seen this before. This is number of housing transactions over time. All right? Look at, in 2023, I'm estimating 4.5 million. Rick and I, we were arm wrestling last night. I won, so 4.5 million. That's kind of, we agree, all right? It looks really bad, doesn't it? All right, here's the magic trick. Right before your eyes, I'm going to change this chart. Ready? Drum roll, please. Ta-da! Look at that. Does anyone know what happened? Wow, just a lot of mumbling. I changed the y-axis. The y-axis started at 4 million. Now it starts at 0. The point here is to illustrate, look, in 2023, even if it's down, there's still 4.5 million people moving. That's still a pretty good bar, right? That's still a lot of business in the industry. And here, let's add some context. Here's the historical average. 2022, yeah, Armageddon, everything's happening. It was only down like 2% from the 10-year historical average. The problem is it keeps getting compared to 2021, which was up 17% from the average. Right? Context is really important here. So there's still going to be millions and millions of people moving this year. And where it flows in is the commission pool. So in 2022, right, when housing was slowing down, that commission pool, right, the amount of dollars paid by consumers to agents in commission was $23 billion higher than 2019. This is driven by rising home values. Almost $100 billion commission pool. And if 4.5 million people move in 2023, that's still $85 billion commission pool this year. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Which brings me to my next point. Profitability, the lost art of making more than you spend. So how are all of these big real estate tech companies, these disruptors, how are they going to move from sustained unprofitability to a sustainable business model? What are they going to do? They're coming after the commission pool. Here's Zillow's plan. Zillow plans to extract an additional $1.5 billion per year from their Premier Agent program. That's an additional $1.5 billion from a current $2 billion. That's a lot of money. That money comes directly out of the commission pool, right? It's a fee. A big way that Zillow derives that is their new Flex program, right? Flex, as a percentage of their total Premier Agent program, is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year. It is becoming a bigger part of their business. Again, this is not good or bad. You can make that own determination. It just is. This is a fact. Compass is slowly changing the commission splits to retain more money from agents, right? Ever so slowly, like boiling a frog. They're slowly changing that. That's the commission pool, right? They're taking more money out of an agent's pocket in the commission pool. That's how they get from unprofitable to profitable. It's not rocket science. Like, this is really easy. There's one surefire way to make money in real estate, and it's buying and selling houses. It's the commission. And these big companies are just tapping into it. They're trying to figure out how they can get a little piece or a big piece of it. Opendoor, when they buy and then sell a home, they pay a below-market buyer's agent commission, anywhere from 0.5 point to a full percentage lower than the standard in that area. That's saving them tens of millions of dollars. Again, pulling that money out of the commission. These companies are not dumb, right? They're all targeting that $85 billion. That is a great way to make money. So let's bring it all back, right? How do we survive in this new world? How do you survive? I'm fine. How do you survive in this new world? So let's start with Gary. We're losing so slowly we think we're winning. You cannot stand still, right? Think about the graph with Realogy and EXP and Compass and Redfin. You can do the same thing you did last year and the year before. Like, that's totally fine, but the world around you is changing faster. It's not changing drastically, but it is changing, and you have to pay attention to what's going on, and you have to adapt, right? The adaptable cockroaches are going to be the ones that survive here. Venture capitalists have poured tens of billions of dollars into this space. What do you think is going to happen next year? Do you think they're going to give up? Like, oh, man, we tried and we got burned. I guess, well, we're done. Let's go back to food delivery or something else. Probably not. It's going to go up, right? There's a lot of venture capital money out there just waiting for the market to turn so they can come back in and keep doing this. So we're in a bit of a breather at the moment. This is not the new norm All right, people are going to get burned, but more money will come in, and it will change the industry. So all of this money has created these hundreds of new business models, right, for years. Right? That last graph was 6 years worth of investment. These companies are years old. There's all these new models, all these new ways for consumers to buy and sell houses. But the interesting thing out of that, the percentage of consumers that choose to use a real estate agent has never been higher. Look at that, 90% of people, 90% of homeowners still choose to use an agent. There's all these other options out there. Again, it's not good or bad, it just is. This is a fact, right? And people tell me, like, Mike, what do you think the role of agents going to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Are we going to have agents anymore? I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, next week, let alone 10 years from now. But I can tell you, I've seen no data so far to suggest that agents are no longer central to the transaction. It's really clear when you look at the evidence. Agents are absolutely central to the transaction. Because this is somebody's biggest transaction in their lifetime, they are scared. They want someone to hold their hand. They want someone to guide them through the process. But we're in a world where transaction volumes are declining, right? They are going down. Y-axis or not, it is true. We've got some of the biggest companies out there losing billions and billions of dollars, and they're looking to become profitable. The way that they're doing that is they're targeting the commission pool, right? That is the one surefire way to get from unprofitable to profitable. They're taking all the venture capital they have, and they're spending a lot of it on consumer advertising in a way that they're outspending anybody in this room, right? Hundreds of millions of dollars direct to consumers. They're building up these walled gardens, these closed ecosystems where they're in control, right? It's our listings, it's our mortgage company. You can't find these homes anywhere else. What do? This next slide is like my favorite strategic sentence. So I'll share it with you. What you do is you compete where you can win. All right? Really, take that on board. Think about that. Don't compete with these big companies. You can't outspend them in marketing. You can't do all the things that they're doing, but they can't do all the things that you're doing. Their businesses have to scale. Their technology businesses. You don't necessarily have to scale. You can do the non-scalable hard work, the relationships, the communication. The point is, figure it out for you. What is your value that you can do that no one else can do? What's your reason where consumers are going to keep coming back and using you as opposed to some of these new models? Right? Because we're in a giant resetting, like Armageddon. The industry's changing, but at the end of the day, the cockroach survives. And that's you. Thank you.